What is up, Rebel Scum? Big Lou here, coming at you with my non-spoiler review of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I was going to try and do this review last night, but I attempted to sit and actually talk to the camera, and I needed time to process what I saw last night, because this movie takes you on so many different journeys. This is a non-spoiler review. Suffice it to say, I loved this movie. It was an incredible journey for all of the different characters. They all take you on a very unique journey, each in their own right. We have three different storylines that are kind of going on that all play differently and kind of all come together in a really, really unique way. This is as different of a movie from The Force Awakens as Empire Strikes Back was from A New Hope. That's not to say that this movie is a rehash of Empire Strikes Back. It's not in the least. There are going to be some similar threads that people will go, oh, they pulled that right from blah, blah, blah. There definitely is some similarities, but I think that's more that Rian Johnson's trying to pay tribute to where the franchise has come from, as opposed to just trying to rehash some things. Whereas The Force Awakens definitely falls victim to, oh, it's another Death Star, oh, it's another trench run, oh, it's this and that. This movie definitely stands on its own. It definitely takes some risks that pay off huge. And when you see the movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. At least I hope you know what I'm talking about. So, jumping right in here, some of the biggest things that stand out to me is the writing. Rian Johnson's script is poignant. It makes you think. It makes you go, oh wow, and then it hits you over the head with something else right out of the gate. Right after that. So it just is, it always keeps you going. There are a couple of times throughout the middle of the movie where it's like, okay, let's get to the next thing. I'm tired of seeing this. But that's just because what was going on before was so powerful and so intricate that I wanted to see what happened next. That's not to say that what was going on currently wasn't interesting and important to what happened later. It just, in the moment, I was wanting the story to progress to the next thing. The performances that are given by both Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill. I'm going to start with Carrie Fisher, because in The Force Awakens, Carrie Fisher, it was Princess Leia. This was Princess Leia. You watch this movie and you don't see Carrie Fisher on screen. You see Princess Leia. In The Force Awakens, it's like, oh, hey, there's Carrie Fisher. That's great. She's working again. This was Princess Leia, and it was so evident, and just, she owned the screen every time she was on screen, and it was just fantastic seeing her in this final performance of her life, being able to go out on such a high note that it hurts that we're not going to be able to see her in this role anymore, because she totally crushed this role. And no spoilers about what happens to Princess Leia in this movie, but suffice to say, Carrie Fisher's no longer with us. So no matter what happens to Princess Leia in this movie, we won't be seeing Carrie Fisher in this role. So Mark Hamill has always been a fantastic voice actor, and his on-screen presence has always been kind of limited. Oh, that guy from Star Wars. Seeing him on screen again as Luke Skywalker in this, he does some of the most powerful acting I've seen him do ever. I mean, yeah, he shows up in The Flash as the trickster every now and then. He'll show up in Jay and Silent Bob as the cock knocker. Pardon my French there, but that's what the character's name was. But he's never been what you would consider a true dramatic thespian, like say Harrison Ford was. But he crushed it in this movie. It just totally sold me on the troubles and the turmoils and stuff that we see from the trailer, and it's totally expounded upon in this movie. And the chemistry that he has with Daisy Ridley as Rey is so powerful, and it's just awesome to watch on screen. The other big stand-up performance to me is Adam Driver as Kylo Ren. A lot of people were giving him a lot of crap from The Force Awakens with the traitor and just the angsty, emo, dark side kid that he played in the way he played it in that movie. I loved that choice for him to play it that way, because you see the conflict between the light side and the dark, and the why he was being torn apart and stuff, and we get some answers as to why he was going down that path in this movie, and the choices that he made as an actor in the Force Awakens, and then again in this movie, definitely are explained in a really, really great way in this movie. Oscar Isaac as Poe Dameron gives a great performance. There's a lot more that Poe has to do in this, and his character arc is outstanding throughout this film. So, as far as the new characters that we have Rose Tico, played by Kelly Marie Tran. Her chemistry and story arc, we know that she is very involved with Finn, and they go off on their own kind of little adventure. We see that from the trailers and stuff. Their chemistry together was really, really, really good. I enjoyed watching the two of them interact together, and how they kind of blossomed as excuse me, as a duo, and the adventures that they were going on didn't really work for me, and kind of took me out a little bit. Not to say that their performance wasn't great and the chemistry wasn't there. I just wish that what they were doing was something a little bit different. But that's one of my only negatives of the movie. There was a sequence there about, 15 minutes or so in the middle of the movie that I was like, okay, I guess I can sit through this and wait till we get to the next thing. It's kind of similar to the way that I felt watching the Rathtar scene from the Force Awakens. It's there, it's fine, they performed their parts great, but it's not my favorite part of the movie. The other new characters we get, Benicio del Toro's DJ character, who is not in the movie nearly as much as I would have liked to have been. I thought that you get a character like Benicio del Toro as cast in this movie, and I really wish that they would have taken advantage of the fact that he is such an iconic actor. So, and then we get to the other new character is Laura Dern as Emmeline Holdo, and I love Laura Dern, and she never disappoints, and she didn't in this, and her character in this, and the way that she carries herself as a leader, and being there, and the role that she plays is pivotal, and it just is awesome to see. So all in all, I loved this movie. The action is intense. The tone is amazing. John Williams' score, I cannot emphasize, stress, gush, it's incredible. John Williams' score is incredible in this. It is probably my favorite score of all the 9 well, he only's done 8 of the Star Wars. He did not do the score for Rogue One. Of the 8 scores, this is my favorite score, and that's after only having seen it once. But there's so many different callbacks to various different themes throughout all kinds of different, all the different Star Wars movies. We get callbacks to the prequel themes. We get callbacks to the A New Hope theme. We get callbacks to themes from Return of the Jedi, themes from The Force Awakens. We get callbacks to all the different themes. Plus, there's some really, really good new music in this movie that is, I'm gonna actually, as soon as I finish recording this, I'm gonna go buy that soundtrack, because it's freaking incredible. So, yeah, Whew. I could go on and on about things that I loved about this movie, but this is just a non-spoiler review to give you an idea about how excited I was about this movie. You definitely should go and check it out. If you want to see a full spoiler review, Cutman's coming over later. We're gonna break it down nanosecond by nanosecond and just dive into the guts of everything that we loved about this movie, because he and I stood outside the movie theater last night for about half an hour just talking about this movie, because there's a lot to talk about, and it's phenomenal, and it's, to me, it's not Empire, but it's damn close, and that's after only having seen it once. And that could just be because I'm so entirely satisfied with the adventure that I just went on, but my excitement may dull some of that, I may have that tempered as I see it and as time goes on, but right now I'm still riding cloud nine, and I give this movie, I give it a 9 out of 10. There are some a couple of pacing issues through the middle of the movie. There are a couple of things that didn't really work for me. A lot of the humor it's all really, really funny. Some of it doesn't seem like it belongs in certain places, but I love this movie. Go see this movie. Check out our spoiler review once you have seen this movie. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you like what we see here going on. It really supports us. Hit that like button. Follow us on social media. Our links to our Twitter and our Facebook pages can be found in the description of this video. In the meantime, I'm going to be here trying to recover from the adventure that I just went on, and I will see you right here in a galaxy far, far away that we call the interwebs.